every single weekend we have together, we're learning a lot about one another and how to communicate and how to create relationships and all those small little things that are so vital that we haven't been able to do because of COVID and the restraints. I mean, remember that I got this job, I believe, somewhere in late February, somewhere around now, something, and then 10 days with the team. And then I wasn't around them until like September, October, or something like that. And so to catch up with like communication and one-on-ones and actually be around each other is super helpful for us, especially on the road, because there's a lot of dead pockets of time for us. A lot of people have been asking me about this last weekend. Obviously, for the first night was a different lineup. We had it was a violation of team standards for us, and here at USC, and I'm sure there's a lot of programs like this around the country where you get what you tolerate, and we're just not going to tolerate anything but the very best. And so it wasn't anything just earth shattering, so no one out there needs to worry, but it standards are standards, and we're going to hit those marks, and that's just the way it's going to be. And we're not going to cut corners on this. We're going to do it the right way. So if anyone has an issue with that, they can talk to me, but our kids, I think, learned from that. They understood that. And I thought we bonded over the course of the weekend. I thought we played well the second match too. I thought actually both matches, I thought we competed for a lineup that had to learn all these new things within 2 days. They competed. They were given kind of an unfair hand, and they dealt with it. And they pushed 17 points and 20 points, and they held Danny Drews to a decent clip. I thought there was a lot of positives to what they did. And then on the second night, we made adjustments and learned about our team a little bit, learned about them. And I thought we competed pretty well. Anytime you're going 5, I think you're in the ballpark. And so it's going to come down to a bunch of the details. This team knows that. We're not great on details. We've got to get better at passing the ball on first touch and second touch. We have to get better at late in matches and how to handle those stressful situations. And the more that we're in those scenarios, the better off we're going to be. So that's 3 straight matches in a row where we went 5. And those are terrible results for USC community, but those are great learning curves for a relatively young team, I believe. There's always a ton to learn, especially we're not getting really a dry run here with COVID. I mean, we're stuck in the middle of this COVID pandemic, which is a pretty phenomenal thing, and phenomenal, not good, by the way. And learning how to train, where to push, how to push, what is actually super important. We don't have a lot of depth right now on this team. I think the public knows that. We've sustained a couple injuries. And so we don't have, we can't just mix and match lineups and try all these different things. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get a feel for a lot of different ideas this spring, but that's been limiting for us. The second thing that I have learned is really how impressed I am with this team. I don't think they know that. I don't think I've told them how impressed I am, because I've been on them quite a bit. But they always show up. They're working really hard. They address the issues that are the problems. Like for example, if someone needs to work passing to their right, they're in there early, they're staying late, and they're working on that stuff. And a lot of these small things that are costing us W's, they're addressing, and they're not hiding from it. And I'm really impressed by that. I really like that. I hope it continues. That's a great quality for our program to have. So I've been really impressed with that component. As far as changing how we train, no, it's just about making sure we're not pushing too hard. I think a lot of teams came back not in the best shape. You can see it across the country where people are just not in shape, or they're gassed, and it's the same thing for us. And so you can push too hard and start hurting people, and we're not going to do that either. So yeah, there's a lot of lessons to learn right now. Well, I think there's some obvious stuff out there. First off, I have an unbelievable amount of respect for Sam Cross and his staff and Cal. They lost a lion's share of their starters. They're 2 All-American middles. Mima is playing beach right now. They've So you have a very young team over there with Cal, and they weren't even able to practice, by the way, all the way until I think January something. So just how competitive they are and how explosive they are. They've got a lot of really good young players on that team, and they're going to be a handful. Um, Obviously, I think everyone that's watching, we need to continually to stress and get better at serve and pass. I know that's such a water is wet statement, but we do want to have and crank up service pressure. No, I don't want to miss 42 serves in a weekend. Like, I don't want to do that, but we've got to, in order to learn or get to that space, you have to push that boundary. I think we're getting better at that. Passing is going to come in time because we've changed a lot of their technique, fundamentals, and all those things. The systems that we're running are different. So I'd like to continue to work on those systems and get better at them, the out of system systems, our actual in-system systems, and then kind of the decision-making process. The last two is we got to take care of, I guess, the low-hanging fruit. You know, anytime a team is going to give you an easy ball, a down ball, a shot that's easy to pick up, somewhere where we can touch the ball and make a high quality two contact so we get a good swing out of it, we've got to get way better at that. Too many times we're not making the proper touch to give ourselves the advantage for the swing. And then when we do have that swing, we've actually been missing the court quite a bit. So I want to attack the court more. So I think that's probably a very generic thing, but if you watch our team, you can see those things occurring, and you can see our team trying to problem solve and work through that, which I'm also pretty excited about. So I want to continue the progression. I believe we're getting better. I know the wins and losses don't show that at this point, but I'm very optimistic about what we're doing, the buy-in from the kids, the work ethic, and they're starting to understand, they're starting to speak the language of what we're doing. And I think we have to continue on that route, and we as coaches have to continue to be patient.